Hello and welcome back to more Rune Factory. Or Rune's Factory, I suppose. Either way. What else been going on? Nothing. Nothing's been going on. I don't know. What? Found some anime that seems fun and cute. So have started watching that. That's about all I've got going. Oh! Sale day? Good thing I have a decent amount of money to spend on things. Okay, so I need to find where UA is and buy just like a bunch of platinum off of her. Also buy a bunch of feed for all of my monsters. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, would you look at this? Yeah. 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 Lots of runes, huh? Yeah. Sitting. Oh shoot! Right. Shoot, what were we watching most recently? Alright, Azura and I finished watching My Little Pony Season 7, and then went and watched the movie, and I think we're going to be watching a bunch of Equestria Girls stuff before we start watching Season 8. I don't think there's a movie after Season 8. So I guess we'll just go right on to Season 9 after that, so however long it takes to watch all of the Equestria Girl stuff, then it'll be 9 days for Season 8, and then probably 9 days for Season 9. With an asterisk in there, because on days where Zara works, she doesn't like going and watching ponies on those days, so probably take a bit more than just 2 to 3 weeks, so but still as some people might or might not be aware, despite My Little Pony being one of my special interests, I have not actually seen the entire show. Yeah. I got into the show after season 3 after season 3. And then I started watching the show and everything as it was coming out. And I had even at one point made a friend group and got some of the members to start watching ponies. So I'd, watch the episodes like on the Saturdays they come out, and there's a whole bunch of fun in all of that. Really? Getting to see the episode, like, staying up late at night on Friday nights, with the live stream group of like 20 or so people in the live stream. Yeah, and like live stream, like watching pony videos, talking ponies, waiting for the new pony episode to air so we can watch it live. And I think actually watching the My Little Pony, like those pony live streams, are the reason why I first started using AdBlock, because the streaming service that was used occasionally just puts ads in the middle of a live stream just randomly for the viewers. So you should be watching da-da-da-da-da, and then just ad for stuff! Buy my things! And miss out on the content that you actually want to watch. So yeah, that's why... Yeah, that live stream is why I started using AdBlock in the first place, which is kind of funny. But then, at some point I moved away from there, and I don't know exactly when it was. I think it's either between season 6 and 7 or between... I think it was... I don't even remember, but at some point just like the live streams kind of stopped happening, the fan community kind of petered out, a hiatus took like just a bit too long to go through or whatever, and then it's just, everyone was like, okay, well, now what? Because to be fair, the pony hype kind of died after season 3, like, it jumped off of a cliff. Which is, you know, right around when I started watching the show. And so there was still a lot of hype, but it was always dying. It was always getting less and less the entire time I knew the show. And I'd moved away from my friend group. I wanted to get as an adult, I needed to get a job, and my 3-hour-a-week shift at the grocery store wasn't enough of a job. Obviously. For obvious reasons. So I moved to try to get a job somewhere else, but then I left my friend group and never heard back from them ever again, even though one of them still owes me back my 2 Dragon magazines that he had borrowed and then immediately lost. Still not over that. And then, yeah. So, yeah. Still into ponies, still kind of watching, but I think it was around the time when, like, season 8 started airing, I was all like, oh, right, I guess an episode came out a while ago. Might as well watch it. There was something about the show that just lost the fun cuteness that... Because, like, back when I first got into the show, I, like, downloaded all of season 1, 2, and 3, and I just watched them. Just basically on repeat. Over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I just know that if I had that kind of mentality when, like, you know, season 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Like, if I'd gone into the show with that much free time, I think that was a big part of it too. If I'd gone into the show with that much free time and enthusiasm for it, when the show was later on, I would have watched those seasons as well and probably still loved them. But then I had, like, less free time, because, like, oh, well, now I have to, you know, get up at 5 a.m. for my shift starting at 6 a.m., get back home about 3 p.m., have a few hours to actually do things, and then, okay, now I have to sleep to wake back up at 5 a.m. again. It's like, yeah, getting a full-time job, all of a sudden, I lost a lot of time in my day. I lost a lot of my free time. And, yeah, couldn't really keep up with all of the pony stuff that was happening. And with the hiatus between seasons, there just wasn't enough pony hype to really keep the, the value, the enthrallment, the entertainment, all of that. There wasn't enough to keep it good. So, like I said, I lost interest. So, well, not completely, but mostly. So when season 9 came out, I think I saw, like, the first 3 episodes. Because I had a friend at the time who also watched ponies. And he convinced me, he's like, hey, let's watch, hey, season 9 is out. Let's watch the episodes that are out so far. And it's like, okay, sure, let's watch it. And then start watching it. It's like, okay, we watched the 3 episodes, and they're like, hey, episode 4 is out now. I'm like, okay, I'll catch that eventually. And, like, a large part of the hype of the show, from what I'd found, was the love for the show from the community. But as the show got, like, carried on, the community started to like it less and less, because, like, even from, like, episode 1, it's like, oh my gosh, there's, you know, a gray pony with, like, derped up eyes. let's call her Derpy. And it's like, yeah, Derpy! Like, even like watching the show with Azura lately, we see Derpy and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a Derpy. Like, pausing episodes just to call, it's like, oh, there's Derpy! But then, like, season 4 started, and Hasbro decided, it's like, okay, Derpy is offensive, we're never going to show Derpy on this show. Ever, ever, ever again, ever, period, ever. That lasted about 6 episodes, but that still took out a lot of enthusiasm from, like, a lot of people. Like, yeah, eventually episode 100 happened, like, catered to the fan base, but it's like, I'm not so much a fan of the show that I know all of the stuff that was referred to in that episode. Like, a lot of stuff is, like, some of it is, like, oh, stuff from the show that, like, they hoped that people would like the Twi'lek Games, like, oh my gosh, everyone. It's like, oh, hey, there's Twi'lek Game. And it's like, and yeah, sure, people made up the term of Twi'lek Game, but it's like, okay, why do I care?
Yay! I love this!
Cool. It's like, okay, it's the Twi'lek Game. Why do I care?
Morning. Sim-salabim. Sim-sim-sim-salabim.
Alright. Lucy likes us to a decent degree. Let's go and try to find UA. So yeah, whatever. And again, after like season 3, like, just the fan base just really stopped making stuff. Like, they made like 5 or 6 years of content within the first like season, and then I guess by the time I ran out of content to watch, it's like, well, now what? Alright, cool, we saw everything that they have to offer. Now what do we do? I don't know how much platinum I need. But I want to try buying like a stack of the stuff.
Morning.
Okay. Oh, I can't afford anymore. I have 3. That's all I have. I can afford 3. That's it. And then I guess I just go say hello to everyone and then use fishing rod and blah 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 blah. Yeah, that sounds about accurate. Whatever. So yeah. And I think I found out like what the big difference with the pony is. And in early seasons, like say seasons 1 through 3, they just make up stuff to go for the plot of the episode. It's like, oh, well, ponies control the weather, so when winter ends, like, the sun doesn't melt all the snow, and the animals don't know to just come back. Like, ponies are in charge of it. Ponies clear out all of the snow and somehow manage to remove it in ways that's not exactly stated. They, you know, cut the ice on the lakes and make all of that happen. They, like, ponies are in charge of doing all the cleaning up winter stuff. It's like, and that's like the premise for this episode. Ponies are in charge of cleaning up winter. Blah blah blah. It's like, oh, in order to get the leaves off the trees, the ponies have to run by, and they cause enough like shakes to make the leaves fall out for the fall. It's like, okay, fine. Magic. It's like you know, a pony knowing 25 spells is like a lot of spells, but it's like, well, it's like most ponies only know a couple. Like most unicorns only know a couple of spells. And it's like, so they make up a bunch of stuff to go along, to for premises of plots, and then eventually like, oh right, we actually have to stick to all of those things that we have stated. And sometimes they don't. Like, they've stated that Granny Smith is older than Ponyville, and yet they've also stated that, like, Granny Smith, or that Ponyville is centuries of years old. So, either, one of those two things is a lie, or Granny Smith herself is hundreds of years old. It's like, we still don't have, like, an age for the main cast. At least, like, even, like, 7 seasons in, all we know is that, Fluttershy is a year older than Pinkie Pie. That's all we know. And we are guessing that they are all about the same age. Nope, right, Jimmy is that. Alright, so. Yeah, there's so little information that's actually, like, given, and then, so, of course, the fandom makes up a whole lot of stuff. Like, hey, there is a weather factory and they are in charge of making rainbows. And apparently rainbows are spicy. And the fan base had a field day with that. Like, the show itself, without knowing anything from the fan base, just watching the show, it's like, okay, this is like an okay show. Knowing the stuff from the fan base adds an extra layer of depth to the show that the show's not supposed to have. But then the show's like, oh, well, the fan base made this up. Let's just make that canon because the fan base says it is. And that's where it's like, oh, so you're not writing your own show, you're having us write the show for you then. Like episode 100, hey, all the stuff that the fan base wants, let's make that real. And then it's like, oh, so okay, whatever we say is actually going to be true then, and you're not going to do your own thing. Oh. I have to, wait until after dark. Okay, never mind. Cancel the request. Isn't Cammy right here? Controller disconnected. So, yeah, it was supposed to be its own show, but then the fan base started to guide where the show went, and even though... This is way too loud. And even though it's... even though the Brony community, it's like, yes, I like, some, but not all of the stuff that they make about the show, I don't want to watch the Brony community show. Although, yes, the pony community is why Derpy actually managed to get some screen time and stuff, but I only really like Derpy because she reminds me of, myself and how someone who is considered to be an accident, who is offensive to look at and unwanted by their own creators, could actually be loved by people because they are, an accident. If Derpy didn't have derped eyes in episode 1, no one would have cared. That's it, yeah. If she didn't have the derped eyes, no one would care. Why do you choose scissors every other round? Yeah. But it's not that you choose scissors every other round. You choose paper every other round. Because you cheated. Alright, where do I get the aquamarine, Gordon? But yeah, I don't know what it is, but yeah. Life started getting in the way, I guess, and I just stopped watching ponies, and then, like, later on it's like, yeah, I could just watch the ponies, but I don't want to watch ponies just for my own sake. Watching My Little Pony is supposed to be a social experience, either watching it with other people who are just as knowledgeable as myself, or watching it with people who are new to the show to catch their excitement as well. Watching the show is a social experience, and I don't want to watch the show without that social experience, potentially because I crave that social experience more than I actually just want to see the show alone. And so I spent...
Good morning.
So I spent the past few years... Oh, hi, what's up? Hey, Julia. If you're gonna be out here, maybe I can do your request after all. So yeah, I spent the last... few years, looking and waiting for someone to watch My Little Pony with. Unfortunately... my little brother, who I had introduced to watching My Little Pony back when he was a baby, I'm not joking, yeah, he'd already seen the whole show, and like, yeah, sure, maybe we could have watched it together as it was coming out, or whatever, or like, hey, it's coming out on Netflix, let's have a day and let's just binge it all, or whatever. We didn't. And so, we could watch the show together, that is an option that was, like, always available. Just not an option that I apparently wanted to take. There's something about watching the show with someone who hasn't seen it before that I find more enjoyable than watching... Can you stop trying to force the hammer to go where I don't... I literally have to hold the proper direction button or else it does not work. Oh no, you have to leave the forest. Hey, hammer skill up. What is the weather in the forest anyway? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is this fall or is this summer? So I already know which one's a spring one. I think this one is fall. Oh right, this isn't the forest. Fair. Sorry. Fall. Right, that was all for nothing anyway, because this is the forest. This is spring, right? I keep thinking that the place with the trees is the forest. Apparently, I'm very much mistaken. Yeah, much increased odds of aquamarine, huh? If I wanted to farm aquamarine, I could probably do it here. Anyway, so yeah, whatever. But hey, Azura reluctantly agreed to for us to watch ponies together. So, even though we couldn't just flat out binge the show in its entirety because she can only handle so much of the cuteness, we're at least watching the show together most days. Not every day, just most days. So yeah. Yeah, there is more content than I thought that there was. There might be one extra movie, one movie more than I thought that there was. I have no idea if that's actually true or not, because apparently the fan base likes to write up Pony Wiki articles about actually just make-believe movies that then get put onto IMDb as if they are real movies that are actually not. Yeah, there's an IMDb page for, like, the My Little Pony movie 2. Like, with the cast, with the synopsis, and, like, all of that. And then it's like, no, that's actually fake. That's not a real thing. And it's like, oh, well. It's like, in that case, what's the point? What's the point of trying anymore, really? Is Julio just back in the bathhouse? You know what? Let's go. Is this... Are you Roy? Yes. I wish that this controller would learn to control itself. but over a mountain's crossroad. Yeah, I should really save before trying to grind. So yeah, whatever. So we're gonna watch the show eventually, and yeah, little brother's been bugging me to try to just watch the show forever now, and but I don't know, it's just My Little Pony is a social experience. That's what it is. Like, I literally had a Facebook account of like my pony Sona, whatever. Which, I mean, if you think that, I mean, literally, look at my profile banner up here on YouTube. It's pony related. Yeah, I have my own Pony OC or Pony C, I don't know, whatever. Never got really into like the creating of stuff, never wrote any fanfics or any songs or whatever, but still enjoy the show. I have read a few of the fanfics, including ones that I wish I hadn't. Cupcakes. Watched a lot of the videos people have made, even a few that I shouldn't. Cupcakes. But again, I had people to talk to about this stuff. Hang out with people, watching ponies, play pony games with people. Honestly, what I really want to do, and what I really feel like I should have done, is after moving away from the city to, you know, for a better job, I should have tried to get like a Discord account. Yeah, I should have gotten a Discord account, and because I'm not sure if I had a Discord account back then. I think I was still using Skype. Yeah, I was still using Skype back then. So just gone onto Discord and found a pony group, or a few pony groups, and just try to get some meetups like in town here, and just, you know, try to keep the pony fun going, but honestly, it was only gonna last so long, and so I was just watching a nice, fun little pony episode, and then Derpy comes on and says, Derpy! Spot the Derpy! And it's like, the bronies are flippin' committed, okay? Like, in Season 4, when it was, after it had been stated by Hasbro that Derpy was no longer ever going to appear in another episode ever, in one of the early episodes before Derpy did come back, Flight to the Finish, someone noticed that in a crowd scene featuring like hundreds of ponies, you can see Derpy just barely peeking out from behind another pony behind the watermark. We've seen with hundreds, potentially thousands of ponies. Derpy was still there. And someone noticed this, like, what? Or at least they noticed it, got screenshots of it, like, got a screenshot of it, and uploaded it mere hours after the episode came out. And it's like, I want to go back to that website. I think it was like cheeseburger.com or something, just to look at all of the stuff, because that was the thing, right? Like, going on Cheeseburger, that was a good way to, like, pass the time between episodes, because, like, you know, watching one episode a week is not a lot of pony. But then you go on, and over the course of the next week, there might be like 100 or so, like, posts made, at least half of which are about the most recent episode. So just go on and just keep scrolling along to find all of the pony content. It's like, you know, some fridge stuff that it's like, oh, hey, I didn't think of that while watching it, or some like, oh, hey, here's a resurgence of this character again, blah, blah, blah. And it's nice, just, again, social aspect. But when I lost my proper social aspect, like, of watching it, when I lost my group of people to talk to about the episodes that had happened, I kind of lost my interest in watching the show. Like, I remember once I had to work on, like, a Saturday morning, so it's like, on my lunch break, on my half-hour long lunch break, I just, like, found the video that had been posted on, like, found the episode up on YouTube, because Hasbro back in the day allowed people to post episodes of the show up on YouTube. And I just watched the show over my lunch break. Is this not an Orc Viking? Or am I just not getting lucky enough? I think on the next reset I'll fight the other one just in case, but this is the right place. So anyway, yeah, spent my lunch break just watching an episode of Pony because I was that dedicated to watching the show. And although I will state that it is indeed just a coincidence that my OC colors of white, gray, black just so happen to be most of the colors of the Ace flag. That was a coincidence. Yeah, that wasn't intended, but I mean, representation matters? I don't know, whatever. I've seen the way some people act. I'm not going into all that right now. Pudding has a smooth taste of eggs. If there's anything I want in my eggs, it's smoothness. And I'm from a monster and bring it to me. I think I'll do... because I know I've seen Barrett around here somewhere. go. Gosh. Okay then. Okay, so anyway, gosh, I've really not been doing much in the way of recordings lately. I know that I should be doing like 2 episodes a day. I have absolutely not. But hey, once that zombie game comes out, hopefully within the next 2 months, I'll probably wind up just playing that. Oh shoot, I should have saved. Or did I save? Shoot, I don't even know if I saved. Probably didn't. Okay, now I've definitely saved. So if I had saved earlier, then oops. Whatever. Yeah. Here's the thing. I love games. But I don't love I love games that can do something different from the normal expectation of a game. If I do too much of just the same thing, I get bored. A game with only like one trait to it is not a game that I'm going to enjoy for a long period. So a game like, say, like Dark Chronicle. Well, it's like, okay, you can go into the dungeons and fight monsters and stuff. It's like, okay, do that for a bit. I got bored. You can use, like, materials that you got from the dungeon to build a city. You have certain parameters to work with, but are otherwise free to, like, design the city how you would like. It's like, okay, cool, let's do that for a while. And then eventually it's like, okay, I got bored of that. It's like, still don't want to go dungeon delving? Okay, well, how about going in... It's like, okay, don't want to go dungeon delving again. And it's like, okay, well, you can do some fishing. Enjoy some fishing. Go and do that, or raise some fish or something. I'm sorry, Azura is... Someone is pinging me. Azura. Okay, well, Azura wants to join in VC. And she can. Alright, it's like, okay, you can go and, like, do some fishing and stuff. It's like, oh, it's like, while you're doing, like, the dungeon delving, you can also, like, upgrade your weapons, and practically everything in the game can be used for weapon upgrading. The specific, like, weapon crystals are the best. But it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, you got an extra, like, healing potion that you don't think you're going to need? Synthesize that! Throw it on your weapon! Oh, you got an extra... It's like, oh, you have, like, too much bread and you're just going to run out and you know, it's like, whatever, you got too much bread? Screw it, put the bread on your sword. I don't care. And like, the weapon crystals are the best, except when it comes to attack. And then there's the whole, hey, why don't you can just run around and do photography. Take pictures of stuff in this 3D, like, environment. And you can use the pictures that you take to, you know, make new things. And then, of course, if you make the night boots, which I think you can make, I think you can make before Chapter 2, but I'm not sure. But I know you can make it by Chapter 2, and those are just as good as the weapon synth sphere for attack, because they also provide 2 attack. The synth sphere only provides 2 instead of 3, which all of the other weapon element spheres provide 3. I don't know why it only provides 2. But yeah, then just like make boots to synthesize to put on your weapons to give them extra attack. And hello! I heard a beep.
Hi, I got a carrot.
Hi.
Let's make a salad.
No, I said I heard a beep.
Oh, I thought you said I have to pee.
No, I'll start recording. Yeah, I was just talking about how I tend to get bored of games that only provide like one trait to them. And how something like Dark Chronicle was a game that I could play all the way through without really getting bored of. Notwithstanding the Monster Transformation Challenge, because that was just... I had to sit through a lot at one point for that.
Yeah.
You came into it after the boring 4-hour-long episode grinding spots.
Sure. But I also seem to have joined shortly before you discovered that, oh yeah, it's literally impossible to do a monster-only run.
Yep.
At which point it became, hey, complete everything.
As 100% as we could make it. I really, really wish that Dark Chronicle was more popular so there'd be mods so we could do... Like, I really think, like, if we could get, like, a co-op working on that, so we could run around as both Max and Monica together, I think that would be a lot of fun.
Oh hey, it's Visual Novel Fest on Steam.
I'm not really one for visual novels.
Huh?
I'm not really one for visual novels.
Oh yeah, you don't like games like Phoenix Wright or Danganronpa. Or Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talk was short.
It's a visual novel.
Still, if Coffee Talk was like a 200-hour-long game, there's no way I would have finished it.
Most visual novels aren't nearly that long, no. Visual novels usually average around 10... somewhere between 10 and 20 hours.
Yeah. How many visual novels have I beaten of that length without having someone or something pressuring me to finish them?
How could I possibly know that?
Exactly. I went through the original Danganronpa, which... Yeah.
Well, mostly you did it because you wanted to get to Danganronpa 2, but you didn't want to do that until you finished Danganronpa 1.
I mean, before I did recordings, I played through the original Danganronpa on my own.
Okay.
Coffee Talk was shorter than 10 hours, I believe. I did one mission in Ace Attorney, and then dropped that. But yeah, I took part in a 200-hour-long visual novel game with someone once before, and that made me lose my interest towards classic like visual novel
What
type games.
game was that?
Sinurukana.
Say that again?
Sinurukana.
Can you maybe write that down then?
I do not know the spelling.
Okay, say it slower then.
Si na ru ka na.
That's it. Alright, I see.
Narukana.
Alright. We'll take a look at it here. Oh, hey, that's on sale too.
Is it in English on Steam? Because the person I was playing with had to get like an unofficial patch.
I mean, it looks like it's in English. Yeah, it's in English. It's in English with Japanese audio.
Yep.
But it has like the English subtitles and everything. But let me just see here.
Thanks.
Although it says that it's a tactical RPG.
Yep. But
with, visual
most
novel.
of it is visual novel. Most of the time spent on it is the visual novel.
I will point out that it straight up says it has over 50 hours of tactical RPG, blah, blah, blah. Alright, you know what? Let me just see.
50 hours of tactical RPG, 150 hours of visual novel. Especially if you're not mashing through the scenes, because we would have to wait for the voice clip to end and then read it out. Was how we were doing it, so.
Apparently, this is one of the only game-heavy visual novels licensed in English in existence right now. According to a review posted, 6 years ago. Okay.
Yeah. And I had essentially nothing to do with any of the tactical combat aspect. He had all that part himself. I was just there for chatter and to do all of the girls' voices. And that was...
it looks like the average expected length of the game is 62 hours.
No. I mean, the Let's Play series should still be up on Steam. On YouTube.
I mean, here's the thing. Were you all, Here's the thing to keep in mind. Were you treating it like a Let's Play?
We were doing a Let's Play of it, yes.
Which means you probably weren't, actually going at, the pace that, is generally expected.
Yeah, usually for visual novel type things, you glance through the text, and then as soon as you're done reading, boom, done. Boom, done. Boom, done. Or if you're passive, you let the person do the voice line, and then you pass the text.
Yeah.
We were waiting for the voice line to finish, then we would say the text out loud, and then we would go to the next line.
So basically, the way that you and your friend were playing it, you were artificially extending the amount of time spent in the visual novel portions.
Yes.
Artificially inflating. That's what it is. So, yeah. Yes, but, let's see. Yeah, How Long to Beat says it's average about 62 hours. Although, that's only with one person, saying how long they took. Wait a minute, what? Updated 5 days ago? Well, anyways. I mean, I'm a little tempted to get the Walking Dead Telltale Definitive series because I think I own. I don't remember how many seasons like of the actual individual seasons I already own.
I will say about the Walking Dead thing, I've been meaning to get like the full complete thing, because I know I did at least a partial Let's Play of it, like when I started my channel.
Okay, then I would suggest honestly, since the Walking Dead Telltale Definitive series, which has all 4 seasons, plus like the couple of DLC ones, like from whatever other ones. It's
Yeah.
currently on sale for less than $20.
So I'll probably get that. I know you don't really like zombies, but since you were considering getting it for yourself, would you want to do that together?
Hang on, look. Oh my god. Oh, okay. I just want to point out something hilarious. I was thinking, well, maybe I should get it. I wonder which seasons I'm missing. I'm not. I'm only missing Walking Dead Nishon, the miniseries one, and that's only like $3. So there's not really any point in me buying the definitive series. But yes, I could see us doing this as a thing.
Alright, cool. Because between that and Portal 2, those two are my first ever Let's Plays on this channel.
Okay. So seeing that this is on sale and it's like the only one I'm apparently missing.
Do you want to get that?
You know, I'm just gonna buy, the Nishon one, and I'm just gonna get it because it's like $3. So I'm just gonna grab it. But yeah, I agree. I'm gonna purchase it. It's $3, and there's not really a point in getting definitive edition, I think. But I also don't think I'm gonna immediately install it either, anyways. But yeah, like we can certainly do a Let's Play of it. I guess I just want to ask ahead of time. I mean, there's always going to be different sorts of endings and everything with that. But basically, there's really 3 main ways to play. Play just the honest, what would we actually do in this situation? Or the always be good, or be the as morally right as we can be, morally ethically right as we can be, or whatever, or just be an absolute dick.
Normally for something like this, I'd like to do it in the way of, like going in blind and just trying our best, but we can't do that. So I think that trying to argue with, like, what we would realistically do.
Okay, so basically us try to figure out what each of us would do in a situation, and we argue about it. Argue.
Yeah. Like the arguments that we do when we do Guess Who, or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
That was like...
Debates.
Yeah, it's like, well, we know that the best course of action is to shoot the woman, but we wouldn't know that in this situation. And it's like...
I will say, I do find it funny, because isn't it... I remember one of the first couple of chapters of Walking Dead had the final choice of the chapter, where we have to save one person or the other, and it's about the only time, I think, in all of Telltale where the most people actually voted for one of them, where the result was skewed so huge. And I think it was just, okay, so do we save the woman that our character probably finds attractive, or do we save the annoying teenager? It's like, the vast majority of people voted to save the woman. And ever since then, they've tried making, the choices less,
obvious?
less one-sided. Like, tried to actually make them more balanced. Now, you know what? This is a conversation, technically, I'll want us to kind of revisit when we actually start it up. Though, I just kind of want to preempt it, now, just because when we actually start playing it.
Yeah.
Events do start kind of picking up pretty quickly before we can really discuss some of the stuff. But, because at the start of the game, of course, the main character guy is, back of a police car for... It sounds like he's been charged with murdering his wife.
Gosh, it's been so long ago, I forgot that's how it started.
Yeah. Now, and basically what I want us to kind of think about and maybe kind of theorize on is he actually guilty?
Yeah, because I remember that being a thing, where it's like, he's, they claim that he did a crime, but also left it,
ambiguous whether
up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I just got a really stupid idea for a potential Let's Play of it, and I want to know what you think.
Oh?
We do a challenge run. The Walking Dead watering can only. What do you think?
Is there even a watering can in the game?
Yeah. It would be neat to try to do a save everybody run, but you can't save everybody. I know that much. Like, you just mentioned a part in specific where you are not allowed to save everybody.
Yep.
So it would be cool to try to do a save everyone run. It would also be impossible. Oh, I have to go the way back home.
That's something for the future.
A game of future. But yeah, wait, I was talking about, yeah, games that only have, like, one aspect to them, like, say, Call of Duty. I don't really like in, like, the long run, and I just get bored of them, because it's, go place, shoot people, go place, shoot people.
Yeah.
Same gameplay experience just over and over again. And I get bored. But then something like Rune Factory, where it's like, okay, you're bored of doing X, well, how about go and do this stuff for a little while? How about you go and do this thing? You can, like, farm and stuff. You get bored of farming, you can, like, go into dungeons. You get bored of dungeons, you can, like, socialize with the people and try to do their events and stuff. If you get bored of that, you could go and, like, do, requests to get stuff. Like, lots of different things that you can do instead of just go place, shoot people.
Yeah.
Because, like, I get bored of things pretty quickly. It's one of my, it's a character flaw that I've been trying to work on, but it is still a thing.
Good evening.
Alright, can we go and see this ghost? Alicia. Is you the ghost?
What?
Alicia was talking about a ghost that likes to walk around in front of the clinic at this time of night. I walked to the clinic, and there's someone walking out in front of it. It was the doctor.
Who?
Natalie.
I think you missed the joke I was
Good
making.
evening.
Nope, I got the joke.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm still ticked off about a little minor plot point of one of that show's arcs. The whole silence will fall when the question is asked. And then they go through like a whole scene, like they go through multiple episodes, like, oh, what's the question? What's the question? It's like, the question is the first question. And like that, like that lasts for like an episode. I would see after like try, it's like, okay, well, what's the first question that was asked? And then the idea is you go all the way back to the start of the show, and then you see the first question that was ever asked on the show. It's like, oh, you're still here so late? Or something to that effect is the first question that's asked on the show. The second question that was asked on the show is, Doctor Who. So if it wasn't for that one little line, Doctor Who actually could have been the first question that was asked on the show. But no. Because, I don't know if it's because, like, the writer decided to add in that question without thinking about it, or the person improv the line and, like, nobody caught it. But one little mistake from, what, 80 years ago or something? Alright, yeah, summertime crops. Yeah, one little mistake from like 80 years ago kind of screws up one of the arcs from just a few years ago.
Alright. Who is your favorite non-Doctor character on the show?
Dalek.
Just a random Dalek?
The Daleks in general.
Okay, that is not a specific character.
Oh. Well, I hope you're not expecting me to say something like Davros. That's sure not.
I don't know whether I should or shouldn't be disappointed that you,
That I didn't go for Canine?
Well, I was gonna say
or
Harkness.
the TARDIS? Pardon?
Captain Jack Harkness.
No.
You don't like him?
No. He is a character on the show, but not one of my favorites.
I mean, he was liked enough to get his own spin-off.
Torchwood Who? Wait, Torchwood Seed is spring, right? Yeah, spring. Cool. You okay there, buddy? Gosh, I had an absolute and complete jump scare from one of these goblins a couple of episodes ago.
Oh?
I just walk from town to visit my farm, so I'm like right about here-ish. Just walk in, I just see a goblin sprinting away from my farm. Oh, you weren't watching. Yeah, so I just like... It's like nighttime, whatever. I walk into my farm, so I'm right about here-ish, right? And I just see a goblin sprinting away from my farm. Going faster than I can run. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, what? And I run after it, and it runs into my, my animal coop, my monster barn. And it's like, what? It's like, no, turns out monsters in this game, they don't do their chores in the morning, they do their chores, like, at night.
Oh.
Yeah, I really have to go over the channel again to figure out all the things that... all the games that I still need to, like, keep recording and... or whatnot. What I need new episodes of, what do I have just sitting around that needs to be uploaded, all that stuff. In all fairness, fishing is my highest skill right now.
And here I thought you were supposed to be a farmer.
Farming is my second highest skill. Oh gosh. If the whole time stops while you're in a building thing was true in Room Factory 4 or 5, you could, like, day 1 get all of your weapon skills up to max.
Yep.
Because in Rune Factory 4 and 5, you don't use up rune points or health by just swinging a weapon. Or by using a tool in a place where the tool isn't actually used. Like just using, you know, watering can, axe, hammer. I think even fishing rod. So you could just like go inside and just... I think for the weapons, you still need to use them on something, but you can just use it on your bed. You can just keep attacking your bed over and over again, and nothing will ever happen to it. And if time was paused, you could get all of those up to 999 on day 1.
Interesting.
Although, considering that Rune Factory 4 does have a time stop super early on, you might... No, you can get, I think, running and throwing up to 999 on day 1 if you are just that dedicated to just keep running around and just keep throwing stuff. Not, there isn't much of a point in doing that, but you could. Alright, but anyway, time to end off this episode. And then, let's go watch some ponies!